Sports are without question a huge part of life in America. Almost every day, there is a different game being played and a different sporting event on. Yet, the greatest team sport in the world is not given the credit it deserves in America. I'm in fact referring to soccer. Soccer is without a doubt the greatest sport in the world. I'm Connor Hamilton, and I myself have played soccer since I was 4 years old. So some might say I'm more than slightly biased. However, I also grew up playing basketball in the street with my friends, football in the park, and even played lacrosse for a few years. Still, I find myself consistently of the belief that soccer is undeniably the greatest sport in the world to play, as well as to watch. Firstly, soccer relies on skill and creativity more so than physical strength and stature. Anyone can play the sport regardless of genetics. Someone who is 5'5" can be better than someone who is 6'1". This is often not the case in American football or basketball. For example, Lionel Messi, often regarded as one of the greatest soccer players of all time, is only 5'7" and weighs under 160 pounds. On the other hand, Cristiano Ronaldo, also regarded as one of the greatest players of all time, is 6'2" and weighs 185 pounds. Compare that to the greats of basketball, such as LeBron James at 6'9", Michael Jordan at 6'6", and the late Kobe Bryant at 6'6". While all of these men are considered to be some of the best who ever play the game and some of the most skilled, it's hard to visualize them being 5'7". In basketball, physical size beyond the control of the individual is an enormous factor in determining the ability of an individual. Soccer, however, is more diverse in the physical qualities required of players and is therefore a more inclusive sport to play. Secondly, soccer has the largest global fan base of any sport in the world. The World Cup is regarded as the pinnacle of soccer. To win it is the highest honor of any international team. Quite often, the World Cup is compared to the Super Bowl in the United States. While the Super Bowl is often the most watched program in America every year, the World Cup dwarfs the viewership statistics every time. According to Sports Media Watch, the most watched Super Bowl of all time was the 2015 matchup between the Patriots and Seahawks, drawing in a high estimate of 160 million viewers across the globe. In contrast, according to FIFA, the last World Cup held in Russia of 2018 had over 1 billion people tune in to watch the final, where France won over Croatia. It's not just a popularity contest, though. Soccer is a more engaging sport to play as well as to watch. I remember watching the build-up to the Super Bowl this past year at my friend's house. As we were watching the Bills take a beating, a few of my friends there kept complaining to the TV. They could not understand why the two teams needed such a long break between plays and why there were commercials every minute, or why it took 3 hours to watch a game that should only take an hour long to play. This really stood out to me then and still pops into my head whenever I watch or play soccer. In soccer, the ball is almost always in play, and there are very few stops in the game, other than for fouls or injuries. And even when the game is halted, the clock is still running, so it will only ever take 45 minutes to finish a half. This is amazing for anyone who loves to play sports, as we are always playing and almost never standing around. And when watching a game on TV, the only commercials are during the 20-minute halftime, not right in the middle of the game. As well, the crowds at these soccer games are not only often bigger, they are almost always louder and more energetic, often lighting fireworks in the stands or throwing flares or even storming onto the pitch. In fact, soccer is so loved by the fans to actually watch the game live. There's once a game where 173,000 spectators attended a match. In comparison to American football, where, according to Guinness World Records, the largest attendance at any American football game has only been 130,000 people. 40,000 less people. There's a reason soccer is called the beautiful game, and it's because to the fans of the sport, it is more than just a game. It's a religion, it's a way of life, it's their passion, it's their hopes, and it's their dreams. All these reasons and more are what makes soccer the greatest sport in the world. Thank you.